So, Bismillah Rahman Rahim, we are going to discuss about the more important subject of the 20th 21st century, that is terrorism and violence. You all guys are watching the slides which I have already displayed on the share screen of the today's virtual class on the terrorism and violence. Both batches of third year or most of candidates are here. So I have just the first slide shows definitions of terrorism. Let me clear you all that I think in the world today there's no clear cut definition of terrorism. So even UNO is unable to give accurate, befitting definition of terrorism. Every state have a different uh, it means terrorism definition. So we can say somehow, but there's no accurate exact definition of terrorism. Terror means terrified, horrified to the innocent people, the innocent minds. But here, FBI, US Army, they have tried their best to give some theme of terrorism definition. They are somehow cover the things. But let me read and we discuss. You know very well there's no consensus definition of terrorism in the world. So FBI definition. Terrorism is the unlawful use of force or violence against a person or property to intimidate or coerce to on government, the civilian population, or any segment in furtherance of political or social objects. FBI says in her first definition that is unlawful use of violence against innocent people against their property, use force against innocent people to get political aims, economical gains, according to the definition of FBI. Now, U.S. Army, what they are thinking, their think tanks gave the definition of terrorism: calculated use of unlawful violence or threat of unlawful violence to inculcate fear. Main theme crux of this definition of U.S. Army. U.S. Army says means this is a calculate use, inculcate fear among the innocent people regarding their terror, regarding their anything which they have. Number three definition. Number three, Brand Jacqueline. So terrorism is the use or threatened use of force designed to bring about political change. So Brand Jenkins is very near to the definition which is you are using in present times. Terrorism use or threat to design to bring political change in any government, any part of the world. So coming forward, next slide. So more definition. The time is very short. We have to further cover the other slides. Now we are coming to the second slide. The types of terrorism. There is a written national terrorism, international terrorism. National terrorism, which we are suffering, means in our country, within our country, that is a national. International, apart from the borders, India, Afghanistan, USA, Palestine, America, Russia, whatever you can say, that is the international terrorism. So, what is the national terrorism? National terrorism involves groups whose terrorist activities are directed at elements of our government without foreign involvement. It's very much clear from the national terrorism means our government means some few groups are involved to carry out the terrorist activities against the government or with favor of the government. There is no involvement of foreign government or other elements which state actors. That's the national terrorism. So Further, what is international terrorism? International terrorism involves groups whose terrorist activities are foreign based or directed by countries or groups outside the United States. September 9/11 is an example of international terrorism. So international terrorism can be said not only in USA, but international terrorism you can say Palestine, in Bosnia Herzegovina, in the Middle East. They also carried out a different short skirmishes or suicide bombing, a different type, that is international terrorism. Further, other types apart from nation, grat means grat in a grat means you can say further view. We can take about